Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is a Black Manga Critic. This is going to be a live reaction slash review of Shokugeki no Soma chapter 245. Now, clearly it's been a while. Clearly, I have not read any Weekly Shonen Jump chapters since Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, it's January 8th. Like, a Weekly Shonen Jump fiend needs... We need that Weekly Shonen Jump greatness every week. If we do not get it every week, stuff happens. Bad stuff happens. So basically, again, this is going to be a review of Shokugeki no Soma, chapter 245. We got to get that Momo and Erina height. This match is going to be great. I already know it. I can feel it in my bones. And Viz Media was trying to pull some nonsense. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to pull some nonsense. I try to access my account, my Viz subscription to Weekly Shonen Jump, and it was saying there was an error in terms of trying to find the account, and I was like, no. I've waited too long. I've waited too long to read these manga chapters, and I'm gonna read these manga chapters. So let's get into it, because nah. It is January 8th, y'all. I cannot stress this enough. I cannot stress this enough. All right. So let's get into it. Because this is gonna be too hype. Let me go to the page for it. Okay. All right. Food Wars chapter 200 and 245. Let's get into it. Right off the bat, we get just Elite 10 members being shown. Super cool. We got Rindo, Tsukasa, Saito, Aizan, can't remember her name. The one who does the soba noodles. Can't remember her name. I don't know why. She just didn't leave enough of an impression, I guess. Which is kind of like how she's drawn and everything. She kind of fades into the background. But yeah. Okay. We're counting on you, Senpai. We can't afford any more losses. Come on, Bucci. Let's make a super cute dish together and shake off all these ugly, grouchy feelings. We'll make a dish so super cute, it'll blow away Eri Nyan, too. 245 is entitled An Expert on Cute. Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth and possibly final bout is underway. It's looking like both Momo and Erina have begun their dishes. Sweet and lovely version, Urara continues her sweet and lovely emceeing. The theme ingredient for their card is brown sugar. Oh, that's really interesting. I mean, brown sugar is like, I don't think I can stress enough just how important brown sugar is to too many desserts, too many things that are baked. Like really, like extremely important. Just in terms of the way that things like rise, like the way they spread, you know, the texture, the certain taste that you get from certain types of from light brown sugar or dark brown sugar. Really important, y'all. Really important. So this is gonna be super cool. Let's see. God, twice in a row, she lucked out and picked a theme perfect for a dessert. Yeah, I mean, like brown sugar, man. The only thing that might be more perfect is like flour, maybe. And even then, I'm not sure. But like I would say, yeah, flour. That's it. Good luck, Erina Chi. Go get her. Someone's like, holy snap. Check out Momo Senpai's table. Oh, and from now on, I'm not going to be swearing because I'm trying to get my official teaching license. And so swearing is like not something that, you know, they will accept on any platform. So I'm not going to be swearing anymore. You know, I'm probably not going to have that for like live discussions and stuff like that. You know, I still want to have those live discussions, but that's not the here and doing. Let's get back to the chapter. Talk about that later. Okay. Wow. Whoa. Red, green, yellow, brown, purple, even black. Look at those bowls full of brilliantly colored batter. She used strawberries, blueberries, matcha powder, cocoa powder, black sesame, and other natural ingredients to dye those batters. Yeah, that makes sense. They look like a glittering array of paints on an artist's palette. And like the thing, like that's like the best way to use dyes because you can add particular flavors that you know you want to try out without you know you having to use like some weird ingredient that won't work. Like you don't like you don't want to add sesame oil to something if it will mess with the texture of the thing that you're baking. That doesn't make sense. So something like sesame seeds, it makes way more sense. You know, because you can grind them, you can put them in there. Like you know, if you and it also it acts doubly as a dye. So that's cool. I like that. Now that all my yummy edible paints are ready, it's picture drawing time. Oh, Momo going in. Momo going in. She twisted a sheet of parchment paper into a piping bag and is using it to draw all kinds of cute pictures. You're kidding me. Look at them. Look at them all. How did she get that fast? You know, those pictures are very cute. Look, little kitty, little bear. Very cute. Not only that, most chefs do rough sketches first, but she's doing it off the cuff. How much artistic talent and practice does she have? Yeah, that's also really, really like people don't understand like just how hard it is to cultivate that kind of skill. Like it's not easy. You know, it's not. Some people are just naturally gifted. Like I have a friend that's just like naturally gifted at that stuff. You know, I can't. I'm not naturally gifted at that. Like that ain't me. All right, next page. All these little cutie pies go into the oven for about 3 minutes. After that, I'll take them out and pour the brown sugar batter on top. It appears she's making a roll cake if she's pouring batter into that flat a pan. Yeah, probably. So then she can roll up the she's gonna cook the batter so that it forms into sort of sponge cake type texture, and then she's probably gonna roll it up. I see. It must be one of those patterned roll cakes you often see at Japanese bakeries. That seems like an unusually plain choice considering the fanciful tarts she made earlier. Nah, I've seen the Great British Baking Show too many times, like to know that anything that you bake can be extremely precise and ingenious and amazing. So, nah, you're not fooling me with that. Let's see. The decorations just have to be super cute too. She's candy sculpting. Oh, okay. So pretty and shiny. That technique she's using, that's the sucre tide pulled sugar. Of all the candy sculpting arts, sucre tide gives tide gives the candy a glossy, nearly glass-like luster, but keeping the candy at just the right temperature so that it remains malleable while stretching it to a uniform thickness is incredibly difficult. Yep. I mean, even just making caramel is like very, very hard. You know, it's hard. Like, so one of y'all go try to make caramel. Just go try it. Go try it. It's extremely it's very difficult. Like you know when trying to do it the first time around. Every step is both delicate and exceptionally difficult. Yet she makes each one look easy. She flows from one cutesy technique to the next, giving each an adorable flair. Just like she insisted, her apple tarts had to be served in a pretty and fantastical manner. She's even including cutesy performances in the preparation of the dish. She's drawing more? Then can we expect not one, but a variety of roll cakes, I assume? She's still going? How many does she intend to make? Nope, we don't have nearly enough, do we, Bucci? Chef Momo's sweets shop is super duper busy today. Oh my gosh, it looks like Momo Senpai is getting increasingly more intense as she goes. Is Nikiri going to be okay? Soma, what's that? Oh, this? It's a pot of medicinal tea Arato brewed for me. Want a cup? Yeah, bitter. No, thank you. Ah, well, how about we just sit back, relax, and watch her work, eh? I couldn't tell you exactly why, but Nikiri looks like she's on fire out there. Ladies and gentlemen, the first one ready for judging in the fourth bout is Momo Senpai. And usually I try to pronounce last names, but it's so long it doesn't make any sense to do that every time. I can just say Momo. It's easier. You know, like I can say Akane Gakubo, but it's too much, too many syllables. You know what I mean? All right. Or Akane Gakubo, right? I could say that, but Too much. I'm good. I like Momo. It's nice. It's cute. It's a cute name. All right. Let's see what else we got going on. Wow. That is quite. That's like that is like the sponge cake. Like, wow. What a wow. It's a sponge cake roll castle. That's really cool. There, all done. Yeah, so cute and huge. It looks like a castle from a fairy tale. Plain. What's plain about that? There isn't an ounce of modesty with the sheer scale of that thing. Eddie, stay calm, Charme. No matter how impressive it looks, the taste is everything. Our judgment is based solely on what our tongues perceive, not our eyes. All right, so one of the judges is tasting the cake. I nearly lost consciousness for a moment. What on earth is this sublime texture and sweetness? After pressing my fork on it, it bounces back like a spring, giving it a sense of puffy volume. Yet when I take a bite, the texture is as soft as a spring mist. Yeah, oh wow, that's really important. Really, really important. And the brown sugar is like super, super important to that. Like without that, like you probably wouldn't get that bounciness yet sturdy like nature of it. But most of all, where did this deeply complex sweetness come from? It's too far nuanced to be solely brown sugar, right? Oh, the answer to that is in the flavoring I used. Soy sauce? Oh my gosh, she added soy sauce to a dessert? That's the thing. I'm pretty sure that's the thing. I'm pretty sure people use like brown sugar. Like when you make like a teriyaki sauce or something like that. Like sometimes brown sugar is like the base of that. Topped with like rice vinegar and something like that. So that makes a lot of sense. Oh my gosh, she added soy sauce to a dessert? Yeah, that makes sense. I can understand that. I use it at the very end of the recipe. To make the whipped cream filling, I used heavy cream, vanilla extract, light brown sugar, and a dash of soy sauce. Nice. Once the cakes were baked, I spread the whipped cream on top, rolled them up, and chilled them in the fridge for a few minutes. All of that made the brown sugar in the cake both taste and look even cuter than it did before. Ah, I see. The concept is similar to that of salted caramels. Add salt to something sweet, and by comparison, the sweetness will stand out on the tongue even more strongly. She's created a new and unique dessert topping. Soy sauce whipped cream. Ooh, interesting. Soy sauce whipped cream, eh? I see. So that's how it works. Since it isn't as refined as white sugar, brown sugar retains trace amounts of minerals like iron and sodium. The unique layered flavor these minerals give to it matches beautifully with the salty body of soy sauce. Ah, that makes sense. Without brown sugar as the main component, this exquisite deliciousness would not be possible. Come on, loading. What is going on? Next page, please. Ridiculous. I'm just waiting, y'all. I'm waiting for that next page. Like I shouldn't have to deal with like waiting for this long for the page to go to the next page. You know what I mean? Like it's annoying just because I waited so long. I'm like a little cranky. So I'm just waiting, y'all. What am I gonna do? You know? What am I gonna do? I gotta wait. Yeah, the chapters came out really late. Anime Manga God, like the chapters came out really late. But you know, I'm here. I'm reading it. So I am not complaining because I'm extremely happy about this. Weekly Show on the Jump like is being weird. I don't know what's going on. Okay, here we go. That was really weird. All right. It tastes even yummier if you try some of the various fruits in between each bite of the cake. The candy sculptures are totally edible too. If you break one up into crumbs and crunch on it while taking a bite of the cake, it's super yummy. And wonderfully surprising, each and every bite is an invitation to a land of dreams. Yeah. So not only does it look amazing, it tastes amazing too. Yeah. How does she make something on that level? I did a full trace on her, so I know. I can tell you exactly where her strength comes from. Mimisaka? Ever since she was a little kid, Momo-senpai has been an expert on cute. Momo, age 3. Thank you so much for choosing to visit our department store. Here we are, Momo, sweetie. It's a toy store. I'll buy whatever toys your little heart desires. So just pick them out. Tug. What? That one? That isn't very cute. In fact, it looks rather creepy. Are you sure that's the one you want? Later. This one. That's what you want this time? Later still. Don't you want this kitty? It's much cuter. Nuh-uh. Ugly yet cute. Reviewers love. Sold out everywhere. This. Wow. This makes how many times now? She keeps predicting the next popular toy. What an incredible sense. She's a prodigy. She must be a prodigy of cute. Miss Momo, there are designs for our company's upcoming products. Miss Momo, might we consult you on our new kids' clothing designs? We can't decide which cover to use for our next picture book. These are prototypes of our new dessert. Which one is cuter? She has an infallible nose for finding cuteness in all things. It's that rock-solid sense that forms the foundation of this dish, building a castle with both perfect presentation, and flavor. Anyone who dares set foot in the fantasy kingdom where she reigns undergoes a cannon barrage of adorably pretty proportions. Come on, next page. While we are waiting for the next page to load, just quickly, like there's actually like, I don't want to say cute studies. I mean, I guess like, yeah, I could say cute studies, but there's actually like a book called Our Aesthetic Categories, and basically like one of the aesthetic categories that Cyan Nye talks about is the cute. It's really it's interesting. It's like really intense and very dense in certain ways, and like theory heavy and everything like that. But I think like, you know, it's interesting to think about cuteness and the conception of cuteness, the construction of cuteness, how we come to view things as cute. And it was a really interesting read. Like I read it like years ago, but it was a really, really interesting read. And like, you know, it was one of the things that made me think about like, oh, how do I like, you know, take in like how do I like conceive of like cuteness and stuff like that. So that was just something I wanted to say quickly. But like, I don't know why, but something about the page does not want to load. Like I just need the next page. I don't understand what's going on with Viz Media right now. Like it's kind of bothering me because not even you know, scanlation sites, I don't have to deal with this necessarily with scanlation sites, at least not for this long. Like I don't have to like, you know, like the next page loads, but the page before it doesn't load. Like that's weird. I don't understand what's going on. So we got to make some moves. You know, it's weird. I don't get it. All right. So I'm just waiting. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's just this part of the digital magazine, but it's really bothering me because I think the next page is the last page. You know, so it's like, come on, Viz, like get it together, please, please. You know, it's like one of those things that really kind of ruins like the sort of reading experience. You're just like, oh, this is awesome. This is a cool chapter. And then, you know, like I would wait for, you know, to buy like volumes, but it's like, why am I going to, you know, buy volumes like at this moment when I can just read VizCan? So this is really kind of bothering me. You know, we still haven't gotten to the last page. I got to refresh the page. You know, it's like this error thing pops up again. Like this is a problem, you know. I'm a little like it's making me a little like annoyed. You know, like this shouldn't be a reason why I have to like refresh. I gotta log out, then log back in, then find the chapter again. You know what I mean? Like nonsense. It's ridiculous. Just give me some time, y'all. You know, utterly ridiculous. Yeah, and then people, you know, and then people are like, oh, you got to read the official version. It's like, yes, please read the official version if you have access to it. But like when stuff like that happens, people don't want to read the official version because the thing that's archiving the official version, like the I don't know, the servers or whatever, like they suck. So stuff like that is an issue. Shouldn't be an issue. You know, it should not be an issue. You know, and like it's ridiculous. Sorry, I'm just mad because like I've been waiting this long, and then when I finally do have access to Weekly Shonen Jump, it's a problem. You know, it's ridiculous. You can't escape it. All right, so we're on the last page. Finally, you can't escape it. Oh my goodness, what an unbelievable confection. Faced with a castle of this magnitude, how can Irina Nakiri hope to breach it? To be continued. Like, and this is the thing that bothers me, right? It had to happen with Shokugeki no Soma because this is one of the manga that is very, very hit or miss when it comes to cliffhangers. This is one of the things that bothers me about Shokugeki no Soma. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, here's a cliffhanger, but it's not a very good cliffhanger. It's like this one doesn't even have a hint in terms of what Irina is going to do with her dish. You know what you know, even a little bit of what we can expect from it. It's just totally a Momo-centric chapter. We didn't see much of what Irina was doing, if anything at all. We saw her whisking something. Okay, most bakers whisk. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. That's why, like, right now, I'm gonna go into a bit about what I liked about the chapter. I'm not saying the chapter is garbage, right, or terrible. What I am saying is that I'm getting a little tired of cliffhangers like this. Like, these cliffhangers are not very good. They don't make me anticipate the next chapter. If anything, they make me annoyed. You know, it's just like, not only did I have to wait a whole bunch of time, right? Like, for whatever amount of time that I had to wait, but I had to wait for a very like mundane cliffhanger. It's not very good. If someone's like, "Oh, the cliffhanger was amazing," I don't agree with you. I do not think that this was a very good cliffhanger at all. I think it was really boring because we know it's a castle. Oh, here's a real castle. Momo's standing in it. Irina staring at the castle. Like, that's a boring cliffhanger because we already got that generally from like what the chapter was about. We saw the castle. This castle is not as interesting as the actual roll cake castle that Momo made. So it doesn't. It's weird. It's a weird thing, especially from someone who's as artistic as the artist for Shokugeki no Soma. It's a little odd. So that's me. That's enough of me about me ragging on the cliffhanger. But what I will say is, I particularly love this chapter because I love baking. Like, I love baking. I will like obsess over cookies for like months. You know, like just trying to figure out like, okay, is this cookie right? Does this cookie work? You know, do these cookies like have the right texture? Are these is this like brand of chocolate gonna work with these ingredients over here? Stuff like that. You know, do I want to make a cookie that only uses brown sugar and no white sugar? Do I want to use a cookie that uses only light brown sugar? Do I want to use a cookie that only uses dark brown sugar? Do I want to make a cookie that utilizes both light brown and dark brown sugar and white sugar? Like when you're like really intense with the baking stuff, like it can kind of take over like your life at certain points. You just kind of get obsessed. Like, you start going to sleep and you're like, oh man, I got to think about this other like recipe that I'm trying to make or whatever. And you spend so much money on flour, it's ridiculous, and ingredients, but mostly flour. You spend tons of money on flour, and butter and sugar. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But I love this chapter because it was so baking centric. And brown sugar was the main ingredient, and brown sugar is such a wonderful ingredient. It can be really amazing if you're using it properly. It has so many it has like variations within it, right? It has light brown sugar, dark brown sugar, organic variants of both light and dark brown sugar. You know, so, and all of those differences are very important in terms of like baking, because baking is a really precise kind of thing. Like even like a little bit can drastically change how like a cake or a cookie or a brownie or or bread or whatever like turns out. So I really love this chapter because I think it really sort of emphasized just how texture is really important when it comes to baking. The ingredients are really important when it comes to that texture, like extremely important actually. So I really enjoyed this chapter. I guess if I had to rate this chapter, I'd give it an 8 out of 10 because I really enjoyed the baking. I really enjoyed the baking stuff like immensely, and I love baking, so that's why I enjoyed this chapter so much. And I thought it was great. Momo was like phenomenal in this chapter, and it really pushed just how important like aesthetics are to baking, on top of the ingredients and the taste and everything like that. Both of those things are extremely important. That's why you see all these baking shows all over the place, you know. But I gave it an 8 out of 10 and not like a 9 out of 10, or even an 8.5 out of 10 because, or right, because the cliffhanger was like so bad. It didn't do anything in terms of like me really wanting to see the next chapter. I'm like, okay, I can just stay with the Momo stuff and I'll be fine. And then I know that the next chapter will probably be Arena centric. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But again, I gave it an 8. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I'm gonna start ranking chapters, I guess, now because people rank chapters and that's the thing. But if I had to give it a rank, 8 out of 10. You know, I thought it was a really good chapter for bakers. I think bakers will really love this chapter. And even if you don't bake, I think it's really important to learn some of this stuff because it's also important in some of just general cooking. You know, soy sauce is like an ingredient that's like super versatile. You know, and a lot of people might not know that, especially like in terms of like desserts and stuff like that. So I love this chapter. I thought it was great. But that cliffhanger really kind of brought it down a little bit for me. So that's why an 8 out of 10. All right. So that's basically, and the art's always incredible. So, you know, I don't have much to say about the art. The art's always great. The cake looked phenomenal. I was like stunned. When I saw it, I was like, man, that's a roll cake castle. Like, wow, that was really cool. You know, the orgasms I basically like ignore because I don't really care about them anymore. It's not really a significant part of the manga outside of like, you know, Irina like having like a food orgasm when someone makes her food, because that's like an important thing in terms of like their relationship and the story moving forward, right? So I understand that, but everything else I'm like, whatever. And Rindo as well, because Rindo is like very difficult to please at that level. So right, and Tsukasa and individuals like that. But outside of that, I'm like, whatever. So that was an awesome chapter. I loved it. 8 out of 10 for me. Cliffhanger was not very good, but I really enjoyed the baking components because I love baking. Let me see something. You know, it's on full screen. I'm gonna check out the chat real quick. Okay. So I think we are good. I think that was it. Okay. So that's basically my review of Shokugeki no Soma, chapter 245, and my live reaction, of course, right? Like again, there was a point where, you know, the video stopped, where I stopped because the website was being weird. So if you want to just skip that, skip that. Of course, I don't mind that. Okay? So that was my review of Shokugeki no Soma, chapter 245. It was great. I'm the Black Manga Critic, and I'm out.